Hello everybody! Welcome back again to our channel.
Have you ever thought about the pros and cons of learning in a foreign language?
So today we are going to have a very interesting debate.
It's going to be about CLIL and about the different opinions, pro and against CLIL. So we're gonna see what happens.
Hope you like it.
Bye!
Okay, so now we are going to present you the arguments in favor of the education with the CLIL system. And the first argument we thought about is that languages are taught without claiming a lot of space of the timetable. That is to say, for example, if in a monolingual school, students will have to have like 2 hours of biology and then 2 hours of English. However, with the CLIL system, in 2 hours of biology, the students will be learning at the same time English and biology. So that's a point which really supports this system.
However, we've also thought about how the linguistic input and the outcomes would be if the students have less hours of English as such, well, or any language, and they share the timetable as our partner says. But we would need to do a research about this to really know the results. But it's something we thought about.
Well, another point that supports the CLIL system is that when you integrate another language in a knowledge environment, this environment will become richer than before because you are adding more knowledge and the students will get more information than with the other traditional system.
Another idea against CLIL system would be a general concern about the spread of English, weakening national linguistic or cultural interest in some countries where the first language is not so strong, such as, for example, Sweden or Malaysia.
Well, we also want to give our argument against yours because in places where the language is weak, there could be concern about the spread of English or any other language, but Spanish is a very strong language, so here in Spain we won't have any kind of problem with this kind of system, this teaching technique, so this is not a problem here.
Yeah, and also what is more, CLIL is a system which is very similar to CLT, which stands for Communicative Language Teaching, and with this system, learners are exposed to a situation calling for genuine communication. That is to say that students, for example, they would be learning English but in a more unconscious way because they wouldn't have to focus on grammar as such, but they would, for example, by learning biology in English, they will just be learning English without having to really focus on grammar, on vocabulary and stuff. So.
Okay, learning a first language is crucial in anyone's life. So some people are reluctant to make the second language the language of instruction. This can be called the early start fallacy by Philipson, and it says that if a child starts too soon to learn a second language, it might cause problems when it comes to acquiring the first language in different domains.
Well, another idea in favor of this teaching technique is that when this kind of system is applied, students acquire new knowledge, and this kind of knowledge is constructed and learned by them, and then is integrated into previous knowledge, and we can now construct a net of ideas, and they can develop new ideas and thoughts that are new for them.
According to the idea of new knowledge added to a previous one, it is not only a feature related to a CLIL system, but also related to every learning process. For example, in maths, if you learn a new concept, it would be added to a previous one, even if it's not taught in English.
Okay, we also wanted to say that there would be administrative problems if the system got spread so much, because most of publications about education, math, science, whatever, are published in just one language, so there will have to be a lot of changes. Also, the exams, official exams, for example, PAU in Spain, you would have to have the opportunity to do the exam in just one language, 2 languages, or the second language. So administration would be a mess.
Then I also wanted to say that CLIL provides us with acquisition in a natural context and it focuses on content. So that basically means that we are acquiring two kinds of knowledge at the same time.
And finally, we want to say that there are many theories that support this system. For example, the input hypothesis that is related to negotiation of meaning, in which the teacher and the pupil has to make an effort to have the same ideas, and if the pupil can understand a word, for example, the teacher has to explain them the meaning, but not with the L1, but with the foreign language that they are using. And finally, this system gives a lot of opportunities to the pupils, for example, in intercultural communication and group work and project work.
And finally, we also have to take into account the teacher's perspective and attitudes towards this new system. For example, if we make them to teach biology in English, even though they already know English, they have to learn how to teach biology in English, so they would need courses and more preparation.
Which is also, as we said before, an administrative problem.
Okay, after all these ideas, hope you have discovered that there are pros and cons about this system.
And I also hope that you have been able to draw your own conclusions.
And please, just leave your opinions in the comments below.
See you next week. Hope you liked the video. Don't forget to subscribe.
Bye!
Bye!